All right, guys, welcome to the next Critique the Community. This is the one that Mike and I have been talking about for a long time. We are very excited about this one. We're going to be critiquing photographers' logos, and then we're going to guess the quality of their photo based on the quality of the design of their logo. But the next critique is open right now, and it's going to be on macro photography. So if you'd like to join the next critique, you can go to the link in the description of this video and start uploading your macro photography pictures. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. And the first thing that we will show is both of our logos. And we'll start with Mike's because this is what I have open right now. It's very difficult for me to ever give a logo like a 5-star world class. You know what I mean? Like
right.
A good logo usually is so simple.
And then there's like huge companies with horrible logos, and everyone knows that the logo is horrendous.
Yeah, but because it's recognizable, that's all that matters.
They push through the
Yeah.
and they make it work.
So let's go ahead. We don't need to rate your logo. Like I would give it probably 4 stars, but talk a little bit about how much work went into creating this super simple mark.
That I actually paid multiple designers before I arrived at that, thousands upon thousands of dollars, and I went through countless revisions with different designers, and none of them just really understood my brand or what I was going for. And then finally, I found a guy in Norway, I think, and he spent like a month making a logo. And usually when you do logo, you hire a graphic designer, they'll send you 20 ideas, and you'll refine it down from there. He just sent me one logo, and he's like, "This is your new logo." And I'm like, "No, that's crazy. I hated it." For like 6 months, I didn't do anything. Like I paid him, but I never used it. And then it grew on me, and I was like,
well, now hold on. I remember when you were dealing with all of this, and
Yeah.
you sent me a list of logos.
like 20 logos.
And
yeah.
I picked out the best ones.
Yeah.
Was this one that I picked out?
No.
Oh, it wasn't?
It
Okay.
wasn't. I also remember you saying like, "Man, none of these look like you." And they're all they look like wedding photography logos or something like that. They look a little boutique-y, not boutique-y, but like retail photography-ish.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not really going for that look. I'm going for something more sophisticated. And it took me, a few months to actually see that and then appreciate it for what it was. I was like, it's simple, it's clean, it speaks to my audience, and it doesn't get in the way, it scales very well, and it's memorable, it's perfect. So that was, that was how that came about. It took forever, and thousands upon thousands of dollars with well-known graphic designers that came highly recommended from other photographers and agencies and everything, and they were all horrible. So I finally found that guy, and then I've used that for like 5 or 6 years now, just happily as a clam. So
I like it. I mean, you can't get much more simple than that. But it matches the font that you've chosen for the Mike Kelly words. I think it looks great. And in case anybody is interested, I actually went to school for graphic design. So for all of you people who put education on a pedestal, I am more capable of critiquing this as a graphic designer than I am all the photo critiques I've ever done on paper.
Didn't you go on a huge rant against art school anyway? So,
I don't hold it on a high pedestal, but some people do. Just to quickly give you a story about the Fstoppers logo. I designed...
You went through the same thing, didn't you?
Well,
you spent thousands of dollars.
So I designed the first Fstoppers logo, and I never really liked it, but it was just like something that we just got up quickly. And then when we started becoming successful, I thought, we got to fix this logo. I don't like this. So we hired this company out of Orlando or something. We paid $6,000 or $8,000, and I just hated everything they were sending us. And they got mad at us, and we got mad at them. And I was like, screw this. I'm going to do, I'll give $2,000 away to an Fstoppers reader who can come up with it. And I wish I had the guy's name, but I don't. But this was the winning logo. As you can see, super simple, very similar to what our previous logo was, just FS in the middle of a circle. No aperture blades to be found anywhere. And I love it. I think it's simple, but it's modern, and it just works. Going over to my old logo, we're currently on my broken wedding photography website that has not worked in years.
I want to move away from you. I don't know you. I thought you went to art school.
I did. So we're just looking at the mark here. What is your critique of that logo?
If I didn't know that your secret name was Robert Lee Morris.
Well, my business name is R.L. Morris Weddings.
Fair. It just feels a little dated to me.
Really?
Yeah, it feels like it's almost like a Western saloon type mark. You know, like you see it branded on a piece of wood hung up on a door or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I agree. I have a lot of different versions of this. So instead of like the diagonal lines going through, I have like another one that was on the website that's now broken that you can't get to. It was like a marble insert, so it wasn't as graphic. It was kind of like more elegant looking.
Now here's the thing. I think on screen the logo doesn't look really good, but I've also seen back in the day when you shot weddings, you had those branded wooden boxes.
Yeah, I've still got them.
I think it looked really good on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a great, but I think the medium affects it so much. Like it looks, like I said, like this is like you'd see it stamped on a piece of wood, looks great. But on the web with this white clean background, I don't think it works very well. It's a rustic feel. You know what I mean?
It does have a bit of a rustic feel. I wish I could show you the other versions of this, and maybe we can find it for the video. But I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done anything with my wedding website stuff, so I may not be able to. But I completely agree with your critique. The way that it is right now, it works great in a stamp form, but on a website when you can literally do anything, it looks a little busy and it kind of does feel like a Western saloon-y type look. So completely agree. I spent thousands of dollars for that logo as well from another graphic designer who I really look up to. His work was awesome. And I do love this logo. But I also agree with everything that you're saying, and that it's not maybe the best option for a website. All right, so let's get into this now. And I can already tell you that the ratings for this are going to be all over the place because people didn't know whether to rate the logo, rate the image,
photo,
rate the combination of both at the same time. So the first image David's put in here is the highest rated image. So I don't know if this is the best logo we're going to get in this entire critique, or if it's the best photo in the critique, I don't know, but congratulations, you've won a tutorial. Now, David is also telling me that some of the photographers, he asked for high-res versions of their logo. It appears like that's what happened with this one. So we can see with other ones, we're gonna have to zoom in to the logo, and they're gonna be a little low-res, but it's no big deal. We're going to rate the logo first, and then we're gonna try to guess what genre of photography we're about to see. Okay? And this should be like a huge eye-opening experience to all of the photographers whose logos we're about to critique. Just like Mike saying that my RLM logo looked like a saloon from Westworld or something, I've never thought about that until he said it. So if he said like it looks like Western photography is about to come up and it's wedding photography, like boom, I have failed as a branding marketer.
Right.
I need to change my logo.
Yeah.
So we're going to be incredibly harsh here, and we're going to be super stereotypical.
You have an easier time being harsh than I do, but I'll try to be analytical and reasonable.
Okay, let's do it. So we're going to rate this logo.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 2 stars. This I do not like this.
I think it has good bones. I think you get rid of all of the wordplay, and you make the like it's okay for a logo to be playful and somewhat childlike. The butterfly camera thing, I think you could refine the form so that it reads better at different sizes, but I would just ditch all of the text and make that your logo. Because I can't tell if it's Lisa Roach, Lisa Rock, Lisa Rack, Lisa...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what
I keep thinking it's pizza.
Or is it Liza?
Pizza Rock.
Liza? And then I don't think you need the word photography in your logo. I think if people are on your website, they see that there's pictures, oh, she's clearly a photographer, or there's a camera on the logo. But I think if you refined and simplified the logo a little bit, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a playful logo. I think some of the biggest brands in the world can pull it off very well, but you need to simplify here big time.
All right, I feel like the three things going on here, the mark, the name, and then the font for photography are each three different things.
Yeah.
Potentially the worst part to me is the photography. And I don't know that I have a problem with the word photography being in your logo. Maybe I agree with you that it shouldn't be there, but it does not match at all the, the other font and then the butterfly. The butterfly logo, the more I look at it, I'm like, maybe I don't hate it that much, especially for like kids photography or
like
something.
For the right photographer, I don't hate it. But if you're trying to be like a National Geographic serious animal photographer, I don't think it's going to work. You know what I mean?
Right. So, what genre of photography are we about to see?
I'm assuming this is going to be some kind of flower insect macro combo. Let's see what it is. Boom.
All right, so this photo, you were right. It is like a bug photography, whatever. I think this is a great shot.
But
I
now
would give this 3 or 4
look at the
stars.
size of the logo in the bottom right. It doesn't scale at all. You know what I mean?
It's very difficult to read.
Yeah.
The pizza roach is very difficult to read. And then when you have a mark that is like an animal, I mean, you can't even tell that the butterfly has a
camera on it.
camera in it.
It just looks like a butterfly.
Yeah, so, but here's the other thing that I have to say to be fair to this photographer. This photographer may not be the type of photographer to use a watermark.
Right.
We forced people to use watermarks in this. That's the whole point of this. So
Yeah.
maybe when it's not used as a watermark, they make it bigger and it's brighter and it's easier to see.
Regardless, I do think a logo should scale. So it's good to see it small and big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that is a great integral part of the success of a logo. So, but I think the picture, I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know anything about insects or macro photography. I think it's a very cool picture. Obviously, there's a lot of skill that it took to get this. And I think the photo is better than the logo.
Much better.
Yeah.
I agree. Community gives it 3.3 stars, but again, the rating system's going to be all out of whack for this. All right, so Mike, pick a number 2 through 20 to be one random winner.
7.
All right, when we get to number 7, you will be the winner. Let's move on. All right, this is crazy.
All right, you ready?
There's a lot of clever stuff going on here, but it's so busy, I don't know what to do. 3, 2, 1. 2 stars. I'm having a hard time trying to decide if I like this more or less than the last logo.
It looks like it's 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag to me. I don't know how else to say. Not that the elements on their own are bad. Like, there's good elements here. You just need to take so much of it. Get rid of the camera. The camera thing is so cliche. You know what I mean? Like, you could reduce this to just the mountains or something, or just like my logo has been reduced from the form of architecture into that very simple M.
Mm-hmm.
You know, using the golden ratio. Reduce, reduce, reduce. You don't need the name. You don't need the photography. You don't need the camera. You don't need. There's just so much going on. Simplify. You don't need birds and a drone and a mountain and a house.
Well, here's the interesting thing. We're looking at this big right now.
And it's difficult.
When we shrink this down, I don't know what this is going to look like at all.
Yeah.
This is way too complicated. And if you look at any successful business, you know, like well-known business, nobody's logo is this complicated.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a single one.
Like, I think this would be a great, honestly, like, I'm just looking at some of these rectangular elements in the house up here. Like, if you reduced it to 3 or 4 of those, that would be a stronger logo. You know what I mean? That would reproduce better at different sizes. It would communicate what this guy does. Clearly, he's some kind of architectural landscape photographer, right?
Plus drones and birds.
Yeah. Or he's trying to attack the bird with the drone. I can't tell. Scare them
So,
away.
what genre of photography are we
I
about to
think
see?
he's trying to make money as an architectural/drone photographer, but he also has interests in landscape and animal photography. And I think we're going to see an architectural photo.
I agree with you 100%. Let's see. Hey, man, you're 100% so far. I am impressed. Okay, so now we can see the logo really small. And as expected, nothing, you know, is able to be seen at all.
Yeah.
But it does look like a camera, but we all agree that cameras and photo logos
Have to go
are
away.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of a good example of like the most obvious cliche thing you could do. It's like cameras and aperture blades
Yeah.
can't be in your
Can't.
logo.
Just that.
So this image, I give this maybe like 2 or 3 stars.
Yeah, I can give it. I could see it 3, depending on the. I just don't know enough about it to critique it. I don't know who it's for or what the intent was, but I could. You know, the technical elements are there, but we've all seen a bajillion technically perfect images of architecture. just depends. Was it for a realtor or a designer or an architect, chair manufacturer? Who knows? So
I think the photo is better than the logo.
I agree with you there. Yeah.
Okay. The community gives it 2.4 stars.
Tough crowd.
Next up.
Here we go. Couldn't get away.
Aperture blades with the skier coming through. So now if you're going to put something as specific as a skier in your logo, you better have only skiers on your website, right?
I look at this and I'm like, why doesn't he make the J and the P 2 pairs of skis and get rid of everything else? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And just make this a JP logo with some skis as those up and down. That's the stroke, right? The up and down part of the letter there. And just make it something super simple, and ditch the...
I think we both, again, give this like 2 stars.
It's like, 2 stars. You got clip art skier and clip art aperture blade, and then like...
What are we about to see?
You're going to see a skier.
If we don't see a skier,
I'd be so mad.
You got to get rid of this logo for sure. It's going to be like baby photography. Okay, this makes no sense. Yeah, so it's a guy with his shirt off, working out, who's sweaty, but it's a ski logo.
I think, I think it's a good technically good picture. I don't know why the logo.
I give this image 2 stars. Like, I do not think that's a portfolio quality image.
Depends on the portfolio, I guess. I could 2, 2.5, 3. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just so in shock of the logo juxtaposed with the photo.
Yeah,
I'm
like
having a difficult time reconciling. I can't even talk anymore.
So we're definitely all about simplifying logos, and that, as things become more modern, I think they are simplifying even more and more and more.
And I don't think modern has gone out of I don't think a simple logo has gone out of style in 100 years. You know what I mean?
I agree, but I think 15 years ago things were more complicated than they are today.
Yeah.
And this logo is incredibly complicated, but the idea that you have like a person doing something specific in the logo,
going through something specific.
Yeah, and then that's not what you're shooting. That's pretty crazy. It'd be like, McDonald's logo is like a pizza. And you'd be like, that doesn't make any sense.
Like a giant tomato or something.
The community gives it 2.3 stars. Next up.
This is Netscape Navigator.
I feel like I have gone back in time with this a bit. Although the M and the W...
Netscape Navigator, 2 N's.
Oh, see, I thought I've seen a logo like this. I don't know if Adobe, one of their programs, has a logo like this. It's like Macromedia or something.
Yeah.
Do we need to throw numbers? Like, this is like a 2?
A 1, 2.
So
it's like a laser tech company meets...
So without the M and the W on the left, with just the font and then the laser beam underneath it, that's a 1 to me. Mm-hmm. There's some interesting things going on with the M and W. I don't necessarily like it, but it does feel a lot more modern than what's happening on the right.
There's good bones there. Like, did you see the Hewlett-Packard rebranding a few years ago?
I'm sure I did.
They simplified their logo basically down to just 4 slashes representing an HP, and I thought it was brilliant.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
He could do something similar here and modernize this really easily. Like, ditch the color, make a cool graphic logo. So the MW reads well, and that's all I had. Like I said, there's good bones there. It just needs to be modernized. The color needs to go. It does have like a little 80s fluoro look to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think it's about to sprout roller skates and start going around the rink.
All right, what are we about to see?
We have no idea.
I think we are about to see like a skanky Model Mayhem girl.
I think the guy's classier than that. I think this guy's into technology. It could be some, maybe product photography.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. We know nothing.
No, it's right. It's the skanky Model Mayhem girl. Sorry, this is probably your mom.
I think
okay, this image, definitely a 2-star image. Like, can't put that on your website for sure. But I would say the logo and the image, it is cohesive. It's matching to me.
I think the photo is better than the logo by a good margin.
I
don't think it's a bad stock photo. Photos to me just all about context. This could be a good photo in the right context. But is it a headshot of someone's grandmother, someone's mother? What's the story there? You know what I mean? Again, it's a technically good photo. I'm not going to give it a 2. I'm not going to give it a 3.
What?
This is why the
You're
rating
not going to
system-
give this a 3? What are you talking about?
What work do you need to do? You know what I mean? Like
everything? This is definitely a 2-star image. This is the definition of a 2-star image. It's like she looks very uncomfortable. Her smile looks really weird. The color on the background,
the background is a little funky.
is just crazy compared to the shirt she's wearing. The lighting is normal and fine, but everything else about this it looks like an insane person, like about to bite your face or something. Like, you don't want that on your website.
All right, next.
Community gives it 2.1 stars. So it's tough when there's logos like this and we don't get to see like a word next to it or the title of the company, because this isn't the name of the company. Maybe the company's name is Hewlett Packard or whatever, but like if we don't see that next to it.
It's just very abstract. Let's see it in context. I might like it.
Oh! Okay. So, this is Felix Hernandez. So, I give this like five-star image.
Picture?
Yeah.
No, you can't let the picture influence your opinion of the logo, because you saw the picture and you're like, wow, that's amazing.
I know.
So I think the logo, I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. I just don't know what it's going for, but it's an H. It's an abstracted H. You know what I mean? If it was the H, right?
What is going on in the upper left
it's like
of
a reverse Hillary Clinton logo.
But there's like a die in the upper left corner of the H or something. I don't really know what that dot is. The size that the logo is showing up in this, I think it is working, and I don't mind it as much small like that. I feel like it still needs the name next to the shot, but I mean, this photo is incredible, and I feel like the logo that size is fine. It's not blowing me away or anything, but it's kind of like seeing your M logo without Mike Kelly next to it. You'd just be like, what is that? It's 2 points.
Right.
Oh, I get it. It's supposed to be an M for Mike. And,
but I give him, I think if you'd see his name on his website, I think this is just, he might put that on there. If you had seen his name before, you would know. You know what I mean?
I just don't know. I just don't know that the average photographer has a mark that is so
recognizable.
Yes, that they can just remove their name from it and go, boom, here's my mark. So, Felix, huge fan of all your work. I don't even hate the logo, but I feel like you gotta put your name next to it.
It's just so abstract.
Yeah.
Or even make it more legible as like it's Felix, right? Like FH instead of abstract H.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool way to communicate the FH, which I think would be far more successful than just the reverse blocky Hillary logo that we have now.
All right. Community gives it 3.2.
Your community is very harsh.
Well, again, who knows what they're rating? They're probably just rating the logo. Yeah, and I agree. Like, we both gave the logo 2 stars. I might have said in between 1 and a 2. So, it's very interesting. Whoa!
Web 2.0 aperture blade.
Yep, this is like Saved by the Bell. All right.
Can't get past those cliches. Can't do it.
There's something about this, though. Like, if... I was going to say, if it says design on
We've hit every single cliche possible here.
Of course. Didn't you know that was going to happen?
Aperture blade, design, drop shadow, Web 2.0, glossy. You can't... Every cliche loses a star.
The funny thing is, like, do you know a lot of sign companies have logos like this?
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, like,
Because they're sign makers, not designers.
But they usually have in-house designers that'll make the signs for you. So it's always weird to me that this is what they choose to do, but then it's like maybe it's just the standard, you know? So who knows? All right. What do you rate this? I give this in between a 2 and a 3. Like, depending on the type of business.
Technically, obviously the guy who made it has some technical skills, but it's just, you put every cliche in one logo, and that's what does it for me. You know what I mean?
Yep. What are we about to see?
Why do we have this stainless steel outside?
I've done all that, man. When I was in college, I had like the stainless steel, and I'd put like the mesh metal behind the logo and stuff. It was horrible. What photo are we about to see?
We're about to see a car photo.
Ooh, interesting. I think we're about to see a senior portrait.
We should bet some money on these.
I know.
Right. As close as an engine involved.
Yeah, but this could be a senior who's
could be a senior wakeboarding
right now.
What if it was like an old person, like an 80-year-old senior portrait? Would that be a win for you?
All right, I think I might say that the logo is better than the photo.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I do not like this photo. I do not think this photo should be on your website. And is this? Oh, I thought this was the same
Logo as the.
No, I thought it was the same writer 3 times. I thought it had been photoshopped in him in like succession, you know?
Yeah.
But no, it's just a standard shot of a wakeboarder.
Yeah, I think it's harsh lighting and it's backlit and there's too much craziness going on with the water and the trees and everything. So.
Yeah. Community gives it 1.6 stars. All right, so here is the number 7 logo. Congratulations, you have won a tutorial. And if anybody watching doesn't know what we're talking about, head over to fstoppers.com/store to check out all of the tutorials that you can potentially win. Frankie James Photography.
Okay. There's good bones here.
I give this 2 stars.
Yep, I agree.
So here's the funny thing about this. I could definitely see this logo in like a modern art museum or something. And some horrible picture that I hate that's for sale for $5 million, like this is the logo from the photographer, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. How did you do this? So there's something, and I'm just talking about the mark. I'm not talking about the font below, just the FJP. There's some sort of modern simplicity to this that I personally do not like it.
It looks a little 90s contemporary.
Maybe that's what I'm trying to say in a stupider way.
But I'm not, there's something going on with the kerning here that messes with me. And like the size of the way the type is arranged is bugging me, right? Like the spacing and the rhythm here feels a little strange, but I think there's decent enough bones here to work with to make this a much better logo without too much effort. You don't have to throw it out because you have 18 cliches in one logo. It's not trying too hard. I think it just needs to be cleaned up and tweaked. It's simple, it's easy.
What type of photography are we about to see?
I would completely ditch, we're going to see a model. I would ditch the Frankie James photography, or at least make the typeface match it. Like you have a way different typeface down here. You have different, there's like all kinds of pixelate. There's something weird.
Well, and they haven't capitalized their own name, which is kind of weird, but it is capitalized in the logo and the mark. So it's a little strange.
And I think we need to stop putting photography in our logos collectively, or design. Just put your name in the logo.
Okay.
That's my opinion there.
Okay.
People know you're a photographer if they go on your website. If they see the logo on the photo, oh, he's a photographer. What are they going to think? He's a builder or something? Like,
well, I mean, that's a good point. That is a good. They could think that it was a shot of the builder.
What alternate universe? All right, let's see the picture.
Hold on, I got to guess. What type of photo here? I agree, 90s contemporary. So it's going to be a photo that looks like it was taken in the 90s. I'm going to say, I'm going to be so wrong on all of these. I'm going to say it's going to be an environmental portrait of a scientist with very brightly colored test tubes.
If you're right, I know you're cheating.
No, I'm sure I'm wrong. Oh, but I got the brightly colored.
You did. The logo looks like the photo. 90s contemporary.
It does. It really does. That's interesting. This time we're right. Now, this photo I don't hate. I feel like the retouching is overdone.
Yeah.
And her skin looks like plastic or something, and then it looks like her hair was just kind of like erased out, the flyaways on the side and everything. But like, I feel like the model looks good, the lighting looks great. I feel like there's a lot of potential here. Just like work on the retouching a little bit, spend a little bit more time on it, and make it look real rather than like totally fake. But
I do think the logo works with the subject matter, which I think is really good. Like, I would hope, praise be, that my logos look like my photos. Like, they look, the work reflects the logo reflects the work. Simple, clean, to the point, not overstuffed, or what I mean. Yeah. So I give him credit for that.
Community gives it 2.6 stars. So let's say nature's vision photography. I hate when photographers have like weird names like this, like epicness captured photography, or like.
Can I tell you a story? This is completely tangential to everything. I used to work at Squaw Valley in Lake Tahoe, the ski resort, and there was one of those, epicness photography booths that like follows you out in the mountain, and they spelled like capturing your dream or whatever. They spelled capturing wrong on the side of their building. Said capuchering, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Because they have that horrible logo, they spelled the...
But they spelled it wrong on purpose to be like...
Who knows?
Well, it's like, we're not capturing that. It's like, we're not pro photo correctly, we're pro photo with the F,
God. Yeah.
I just think, now, there is a reason to not use your personal name as your business name, and one of the big reasons is you can easily sell your business when you're ready to retire.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to sell Mike Kelly Photography unless...
Now you say that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I will, before you jump on me for this, but so many artists have their estates managed, and they're selling their name, they're selling their work, you know what I mean? So if you get to that level, you can have all of your work managed by a family member or your agent or whatever.
But you don't have somebody else pretending to be you still... taking photos
you're
and
not
signing Mike Kelly.
They're managing the rights to your work. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if Nature's Vision Photography takes pictures, I'm going to just guess and say, this is going to be some landscape photographer or something. But I can also see this being like a really bad family portrait photography business in the mountains.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what I'm imagining this is. So when they are ready to retire, they're going to find some new photographer that moves into town,
hand it off.
and they're going to hand it off, and nobody will ever know that Mike Kelly used to own Nature's Vision Photography.
Yeah.
But now it's Lee that owns.
I think this logo could be so much better.
Yeah, it could be.
What do you think?
It looks like clip art to me, and then the font used for the actual text is like...
Yeah, it's like the Windows 95 default set.
I hate it so much. What photo are we about to see?
We're going to see a wolf howling at the moon.
No, we are not. It's not going to be that perfect.
It's going to be an animal.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's going to be a landscape photo or it's going to be family portrait.
Okay.
Hey, you were right. You're really good at this. You are really good at this.
I think the photo's amazing.
Yeah,
The photo's awesome.
I really like this photo. I like this photo. I like.
That's really cool.
I might give this 4 stars.
Yeah.
You know, as an image. So
Like the patience and like bravo to the picture, but the logo, man.
yeah.
Make the logo as good as the picture. Come on.
I agree. I agree. You need to bring the logo up to the level of your photography, and if you can't do it, like most of us can't, like think about it. I went to school for graphic design, and I know I'm not good enough to do it.
Right.
So I hired somebody to do it.
Yeah.
You got it. You got to get out there and hire somebody to do it. Community gives it 3.1 stars.
FTM.
You want to rate this one?
Any number of vulgar acronyms are going through my head right now.
3, 2, 1. I'm in between a 3 and a 4 on this. This is like really working for me. I feel like this is simple, but the font fits so perfectly in this box. And without the box, it wouldn't work at all. And it's just kind of all tying together really nicely.
Feels a little bit left heavy. Maybe the letter spacing or the kerning could be fixed. But other than that, I feel
Maybe
like
like
it's really
the T itself needs to be pushed over
exactly.
just a little
The
bit.
T needs to be nudged 1 point to the right. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's clean, it's simple. It's not too try hard. There's no cliches. It works at any scale. You can shrink it down. You can blow it up.
What type of photo are we about to see?
I feel like I see a flowy dress behind the logo, so it could be a bride or something.
Huh. I mean, this would be, if this is a wedding photographer's logo, like I could see this being like a really clean, modern style wedding
I think
photo.
it's going to be a nice high-end photo no matter what it is, though.
That's the way I feel too, but I feel like specifically it's going to feel clean, modern, and bright. That's what I'm feeling like the photo is going to be.
Let's see.
Hey!
I am batting 1,000, first of all. And I think it's a nice logo.
So
given the subject matter.
I like this logo much more than I like this photo.
And I had a feeling there was going to be some profanity going on here.
What? What are you talking
going
about?
on?
You know, they're messing with the garter or whatever. I don't hate this photo, and I feel like this photo should be on your website, but we specifically asked for like your best photo with your logo on it.
I think it's a good photo. I think it's a funny photo. I think it's a great moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just, I was hoping for something like super polished because the logo kind of felt really clean and polished to me. And I feel like this is kind of like, oh, a funny moment, you know, but it's not. What are you shaking your head
you
about?
You are obsessed with perfection in images. I think this is an honest, great picture.
Wait a minute.
It does a better job.
You are
No,
obsessed
no.
with perfection in images. What are you talking about? You're the one who has like every single thing perfect. You just said it in the last thing. I hope people can see my logo and see the simplicity and perfection. And
No, I think it's a simple logo, a simple photo. I think they're both honest. I think it works. It's clean. I think it's a great documentary wedding picture.
I
think it's
agree.
great. Yeah,
I
I don't think it needs to be like this.
But do you
retouch
think-
the
do you
kingdom
think-
come.
I'm not-
like in your perfect world, you'd retouch all the wrinkles out of her forehead and
No!
you'd reshape her smile. I
I'm
know
not
you.
saying that
and you'd
at
have
all.
a guy with a light booming it over and
no,
like, do that again. Do that
I'm
again.
not saying any of this. You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm not putting any words in your mouth. I'm saying.
I think this should be on your website exactly how it is. I'm just asking, is this the best photograph that this photographer has? And I don't think so. I think that there's simplicity with this logo. I think they show design sense. This photo is great. I just think the subject matter itself and the cars in the parking lot in the background, it's just not like the shining moment of my career as a wedding photographer is shown in this image. That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
Okay.
But I know that you would hope. Just go on next.
Yeah. Let's move on. The community gives it 2.3 stars.
Tough crowd.
Oh
All right.
my
This looks like
gosh.
we're gonna have.
This is this is what you were talking about in that critique like a few months ago with like the simulated Sorrow and Rage, where
Yes.
it's like the white guy is like with the fake blood, like ah, and like the heart
It's gonna be a cosplayer
is being
or something.
stabbed.
It looks like a Hot Topic clothing T-shirt, like a graphic T-shirt
Yeah,
from like the Blair Witch Project or something.
I agree. I give this 2 stars. Like, depending on what it is, like if this was like a hardcore band, maybe it'd be a 4 or 5 star logo, you know? I
Yeah.
could see this on like sad middle school kids' black shirts. But for a photographer, man, unless you're shooting corn for a living, I don't know how this is gonna match.
I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be some kind of cosplay type or simulated rage. We'll see.
All right, I agree with you. Let's see.
We know
Whoa!
nothing. Great cool picture, right?
I know. Yeah. I feel like your logo is not.
Matching up to what you're shooting.
Yeah, not at all. I love this photo.
Yeah, it's a cool shot.
This is really cool. Is this the biggest difference we've seen in like logo style versus the style of the photo so far?
Maybe the bird swooping down with the wolf howling logo.
No, you said that was going to be. No, I'm saying genre-wise, like
Oh,
not
the genre
quality-wise. Yeah, but
Yeah.
genre-wise, this is like night and day.
It's like fish turbulence or something.
That's right. All right, community gives this one 3 stars. So this logo is there's a lot of trends going on right now with like old-fashioned cartoons, like the original Disney cartoons and stuff, and the Cuphead video game, and you know, people are bringing that style of art back. So I feel like this photographer is either a super talented graphic designer who's playing with current trends, or the complete opposite of that.
My first thought is that it honestly took me 30 seconds to figure out if that was a camera strap or like a rhino horn, and if that was really a camera or some kind of like bolt or tool. I don't know if you felt that way.
I did not feel that way.
It took me a minute to find it, to come to the realization that that was indeed a camera.
Yeah,
I would ditch the camera and just go with AD. You know what I mean?
but the camera is holding this logo together. I mean, without the strap going across the two, this would look particularly bad.
Perhaps. I have no idea what this is going to be a photo of.
Yeah, and I don't even know how to rate this as a logo. Like, I'm going to give this a 2 star, like, you know. But maybe we're going to see a genre of photography go, oh, it makes total sense. I'm just going to guess that this logo is not going to match the style of photo at all, because I cannot even imagine a type of photography, current photography, that could match this logo, unless it's a picture of like Mickey Mouse at Disney World in black and white.
Maybe like an event photographer or something. Let's see what it is. Who knows?
I don't know what's even happening in this. What's on her face?
Alvin sort of Rivendell feel to it.
What is that on her face, though? Is that
leaf.
something? Why is it like an X? Is it going over her back ear? I don't know what's happening. Is it on a plant and she's just stepped up to the plant, or is there something going back behind her ear and she's wearing this
Is
like
it
that's
photoshopped on there?
I don't
No,
think
it's
so. All right. Well, I was right on this one. The photo and the logo do not match at all. I feel like there's a lot of potential, like the lighting and the model and the post-processing on her.
I'm in an Uncanny Valley right now. I don't know about you.
I don't even know what that means.
With the fake eyes and the weird-looking plant.
Okay. Is this a show or something? I haven't seen this.
Never mind.
All right.
The Uncanny Valley, it's like it's so close to being real that you instantly can tell that it's fake. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this
It's like
like
a psychological...
the robot stuff? Like
Yeah,
trying
exactly.
to guess? Okay.
Like Westworld. If they looked a little bit fake, you'd immediately tell.
I see. Yeah, it's just a weird photo though, and like the logo doesn't match at all. So
I'd rather just say, the photo, if you just chilled out on the eye retouching and got rid of the plant, I think it'd be a decent photo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also, you know, her expression's kind of dead, and, you know, her hand up there's kind of weird. It's like, I don't even know how to critique this. The community gives it 2.1 stars.
Lila Ajankia.
Yeah, I can't even read that.
Lila Ajanki? What do you think it says?
Lila
Lilac or Lila?
Kahankija.
Lila
So that's something to consider.
Lila.
If you are Lila Kajankija, you may want people to be able to read your logo more easily. But it
one
could,
word or two? Lila Kankaj?
I don't know. It looks like a lot of different words. I don't understand. Now, the graphic design of this is working for me. That's the thing. Like, I like this, and I can totally see this logo being on like a landscape/fine art photographer or something. I mean, I could also see this on a portrait wedding photography. Like,
Can we just stop using cursive letters in our logos as a whole? Like the big flourishes and everything. It's ridiculous.
I don't know, and maybe it's just a trend and I'm falling for it too, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I've seen some really good, you know, it just looks like the signature of the photographer.
But unless it's actually drawn by hand, it just looks immediately fake to me. Like, if you can scan some hand or hire a, you know, like a calligraphy artist,
Yes.
right?
Calligraphic.
Have them make you,
Yeah.
whatever the word is, polygonal. Hire a calligraphy artist to do something unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Rather
you know,
than
when you
use
look
a
at this and
cursive
you look
font.
at like the E's right next to each other, and you can see like,
E-
oh,
E-
it's
la.
a font, and then
Yeah.
you can look at the K's. Oh, it's a font. And you can look at the J's or F's or whatever that is on the end.
And we
It's a
have
font.
our ubiquitous word, photography.
Yeah, but like the photography in this is kind of holding it together as a total logo to me. It's like, I don't mind when there's a mixture of two fonts going on, so I don't hate it. Like, I would probably give this 3 stars, although I can't really read it. What type of photography are we about to see?
Portraits, some kind of retail wedding portrait operation.
Okay, I am going to go family portraits. Ooh,
Swing, blah, blah, blah.
interesting. I'm trying to figure out what genre of photography this is, because it's a picture of a church, but it's a long
I
exposure.
think it's just like, you know, landscape. It looks very Elia Lacardi inspired. You've got the sunlight with the clouds and the light trails combined. Obviously, the tripod was in one spot for like an hour to get all this.
An hour. What are you talking about?
What? The pre-sunset clouds, the post-sunset light trails. Get a lie on the phone.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were just talking about the light trails alone took an hour to get.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, I like the photo. I like the photo a lot. Like, I'd probably give it 3 stars. You know, I don't really know what you do with this. I don't know if this is a shot for the church. I don't know if this was shot
It's
at,
just
for
a
a
hobbyist
wedding.
trying to have some fun, you know?
Well, it feels better to me than that. It feels
It looks like a photographic experimentation to me. They went, I want to make something cool tonight, and I'm going to combine all these different elements, and I'm going to try this technique of leaving the camera there, and I'll blend it all together in post.
Well, I have to say though, for me, the photo mixed with this logo feels more than an amateur to me. It feels like a professional photographer, at least a part-time professional photographer. Do you disagree?
I do.
I mean, I agree that I don't know how you're going to make money with a photo like this,
Yep.
but it feels like there's knowledge and professionalism, and it's working together to me.
Okay.
Let's see what the community says. 3 stars.
It's very dramatic. I'm. Oh, and there's the Lila Jonky.
Lila Kajanki.
So it's one word. The logo is one word, but Lila Kajanki. But it looks like there's 2 or 3 different words.
Well, that's the problem with this font is
yeah.
like, you know, the K doesn't attach to any other letters. That's just
Right.
the way the font is made.
And that looks
So-
like a Y, but it's really an IJ.
Right. So, yeah, it's just not the best font for your name.
I would go for like a CL logo instead of the Leela Kajonkage.
I don't even
I'm not
know.
gonna try.
The photographer.
The photographer.
That's an
the only
interesting.
photographer.
That's an interesting.
Is it like Miami Dean, like Miami Vice? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Or is it like he's Miami Dean, or is his first name Miami, last name Dean?
I don't know. I'm very interested to know the actual name of this photographer.
I like the word mark. I don't like the photographer. I don't like the .com. Get rid of all of that. I think the Miami Dean on its own is nice.
It looks great.
Yeah, my opinion on calling yourself Miami Dean, but I think the word mark is nice.
I completely agree. This has been a style that has been out for a long time. Like if you buy stock website, you go to Squarespace or whatever those websites, like, and you don't have a logo, but you put your first and last name in, a lot of times.
It's the thin and the bold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's simple. It works.
Yeah, it works.
It's all caps. That's the other thing too. If you guys are trying to make your own logo or whatever, find a font that looks good in all caps and just do all caps. That's like kind of an easy cheat code to make it look pretty.
No one's gonna judge you for that.
Right.
Yeah.
What photo are we about to see? I think we can tell that this is on like the ocean.
Yep. Maybe a bikini model of some sort.
I'm gonna say there's a boat.
All right, I
shot.
could see the boat being involved.
What
Whoa.
the heck?
Some conceptual sort of
Yep.
experimentation here.
We were both right. I can see a bikini model
And a boat.
way in the background. Yeah.
Good old Miami.
I like the concept of this, but I feel like the photoshopping isn't the best, and especially this boat right down here.
Yeah.
The photoshopping of this boat on the water
Dropped
is
in
my
lens.
eye goes right to that, and it looks really bad. So that's probably the worst Photoshop of the whole thing, which is kind of surprising. You would think the edge of the earth would be the worst, but that's not as bad. I like the logo better than I like
Photo.
the photo.
It just looks like an experiment in some sort of conceptualism. You know what I mean? He wanted to try something cool and see how the technique works. I don't think it's an award-winning photo because I don't know what's really going on in it. And like I said, it's just like the last photo, just an experiment. He wants to make something cool. He's going to try it. But I think, honestly, if you get rid of the photographer and the .com, I think it's a decent enough logo. Or word
I
mark,
agree.
rather. It's not even really a logo, but...
Community gives it 2.44 stars. Now, his name is Dean Chambers.
Yep.
Um,
Kind of sounds like a real estate agent now. It's like, get your house with Miami Dean. You know what I mean? We sell anything guaranteed.
Yeah, so that's a tough one. Like changing your business name based on the location where you're at. I don't know that that's because you're stuck because you are using your name, so you can't easily sell the business if you wanted to. But then if you ever wanted to move, your business can't move with you.
You know what I think one of the best subconscious decisions I ever made was to not tie my name to a location or a name that wasn't mine. I'm not Mike Kelly Photography or Mike Los Angeles or architectural photography LA or whatever. It's just Mike Kelly. I can be anywhere. I can shoot anything.
Yeah.
No one judges it. You know what I mean? It's just classy. It's who I am. I'm selling me.
But you don't own MikeKelly.com though, do you?
I don't.
Who owns that?
I have no. God, don't get me going.
All right. We'll yell about it off camera. So this guy's done the opposite. He's got the thick font and then the thinner font for the last name.
It's like Spotify.
It's like a mark over
an accent over the O or something.
I give this like 2 or 3 stars. I don't know.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
It's tough.
There was an effort.
What type of photo are we about to see?
I hope it's a studio shot, product shot, food, something like that. Otherwise, I'm going to rant about how people put studio in their name when they're not a studio.
That's an interesting. I wasn't even going to think that. Like this logo is, it's just ambiguous enough that it could be anything. So that's good. It's kind of like what you said. Like it gives you the freedom to change your mind and do other things later in life. I'm going to say it's just going to be like a model.
Okay.
Ah!
Thank you, Eduardo, for A, great photo, B, having, a correct description of what you do in your logo.
Dude, you're like a psychic today.
I am. I'm on the ball.
I thought I was going to be good at
I'm
this.
the logo master.
Yeah, you really are. And here's the other thing. Once again, like Felix's shot, it's probably like putting any logo on an incredible photo makes the logo look better.
Yeah.
But when you shrink this down a lot, it's working
difficult.
too.
Yeah. I think it gets harder when you shrink it down.
Well, I'm talking specifically about this logo. It
Yeah.
looks really good to me. Small.
Yeah.
Do you agree or do you disagree?
I disagree.
You
Looks like-
disagree?
it looks like Edward. Like I can't tell that's backslash. That's slicing through the O.
Oh,
Gets lost.
okay.
I can't read studio.
Yeah, I mean, if I turn it this way and get a little bigger.
Is it an E? Is it an O? Is it a C?
I mean, I don't know. I can just like
I think if you just
read. If I read Edward, I just assume it's O on the end. But okay, I see what you're saying. I mean,
if you just dropped the cute slash, or maybe put the slash after the musica, that might work too, and put the studio. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If you want to keep this, I think the slash is an interesting element. It kind of differentiates it. But I just think Eduardo Musica without the slash would be a stronger logo. And maybe you play up the accent on the O as some kind of cool element.
It's just tough when it's like your whole logo has this one very simple design element being the slash through the O, and then you're like, it would be better if you remove the only design element in the whole thing.
Well, no, you can just change it and make it more clear. Because when it was taking up the whole screen, it was one thing, but when you shrink it, then it just becomes more difficult to read. That's my only criticism. Maybe you can change where the slash is or how the slash works. But when you shrink it and it has this busy background, it's a little more difficult to see what's going on. That's my only, complaint.
Community gives it 3 stars.
Great picture, though.
Ooh, this is interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you for not doing the aperture blades around the landscape. It's tempting, but you resisted. I appreciate that.
There's a lot of like very talented design work going on here. And I think if you've never tried to design a logo, or sadly most photographers have designed a logo but they don't know what they're doing. If you've never tried to design like a logo with this much small detail, I don't know that you can fully appreciate it. But
and the subtlety is great too, like the waves with the way they broke the lines and stuff.
I know. And then, if you just look into these lines and you see that they're broken lines, that represent the ground or whatever, like this is just, it's a awesome looking mark. And I could see, it feels like an outdoor company to me or something.
I feel like I could stumble upon this in an REI and it wouldn't feel out of place.
Right. Now, could you easily print something like this on a shirt, not big on a shirt, but like, if you had to do a little rubber patch or something on a shirt, could you replicate all these small lines?
I do think it could be simplified. You could do, you could almost just punch in on it so that, you could do 4 trees and the waves with the lines and get the same effect, I think.
That would be an interesting play on the same thing.
Yeah. Or you could go square with it too and have some kind of asymmetrical, cool look to it.
Yeah, there's a lot that you can do with it.
So I think there's nice design pieces here. I do not claim to be a designer, but I can tell immediately. You know what I mean? There's good rhythm. There's some clever aspect. I love the waves, the way that was kind of incorporated.
What type of photo are we about to see?
I think we're going to see some dude working out of Vancouver or Seattle, doing some kind of landscape, outdoorsy, surf, hike type of photography with lifted blacks.
I hope you're right. If you are that good, I will bow down to you on camera right now. Oh my gosh, if you can get that right. I'm going to say that it's going to be somebody doing something athletic.
Okay. All right. I wasn't that far off the mark.
Now,
Tahoe. I lived there.
here's an
Gorgeous
interesting
place.
thing, though. I no longer like this logo
I agree.
as a watermark. It
Doesn't
does not
match the
work
subject.
at all because you can see through. That's really interesting. It doesn't work at all. It's inverted as well. So we've gotten to see it as white on black, but then
And we hyped it up so much.
black on white, it is not
The
working.
white works because it's like foam in the water or something. It's kind of abstractly representational.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the photo is a good...
So here's
Man, I was so...
This is a really interesting. This should
Juxtaposition.
be taught in like schools or something because as I'm looking at this logo now on top of this picture, I say that this photo is better than the logo, like no doubt. But if I had to see this
I
photo
don't think
with
it's
the
a photography
previous,
logo. Maybe it's like I seriously think it's a professional.
But here's the
logo
problem,
for a
though.
clothing brand or something.
Yeah.
and it's a great logo, but with the photo.
but does the logo only work when it's white on black? Does it ever work where you can see through the
If
logo?
we simplified it, yes. Again, if you took that upper right quadrant of the logo, made it square, so you had sort of like the leading waves and the receding trees, and it was a square or something, I think it would work right there. But with the circle and the transparency, I don't know.
That's very interesting. Okay. The community gives this one 2.3 stars.
The Star Wars
Yeah.
opening crawl.
I know.
A long time ago, Joey Canlis made this logo. Looks like Pantera or Metallica or something.
Yeah, this is one of my most hated logos so far.
If I don't see some kind of death metal photo here, I'm going to be very disappointed.
This feels like the type of logos I made when I was in like
school?
like middle school, high school. When
Like
I was,
in the margins of your notebook.
well, it's like when I first learned Photoshop, and then
Yeah.
you find the little thing at the top, like you make the
shape, and then you
yeah, and then you like make the
mirror
text
it.
do like this, yeah. So
the font doesn't match the logo.
right, and then like I don't think in the history of the world has there been a successful font where it they do this to the edges of the font.
Metallica.
All right, we gotta pull up Metallica now. Let me see Metallica's font.
Don't get sued.
Metallica. This is fair use. Nope. Even Metallica's logo is straight. It's just the outside letters.
Yeah. And I still think it's a dreadful logo. It just happened to work because they got so famous. And
Exactly.
it became so iconic.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a high school kid designed it, but everybody knows it now. Okay, so what are we about to see?
My heart wants to see some dude like, yeah! But
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a model.
It's going to be a 2-star image. I have no doubt.
Okay.
If this is above a 2-star image, Joey Canlis gets a free tutorial.
Well, you owe him a tutorial.
Oh, hold on.
Wow.
This is close, and I will happily give you a tutorial if it deserves it. Looking at this, I am in between a 2 and a 3-star. Looking at like the reflection of this watch, and like there's like the watch is dirty, or maybe the glasses sitting on is dirty. Like I would rate this probably a 2-star. But looking at the watch alone,
Yeah.
I would give it 3 stars. So I'm going to let you decide. You decide if this guy gets a free tutorial or not.
We get some Jeopardy music here. I think with a tutorial, this guy could elevate his work to something great.
Congratulations. You have just won a free tutorial. May I suggest the Hero Shot by Brian Rogers on product photography?
Because I think, like, he wants to be some kind of,
Well,
you know what I mean? I see a good effort here.
I see a great effort here. Yeah. And I still stand by the fact that this is the worst, my opinion, the worst logo in the entire...
The highest separation between logo and
well,
photo so
maybe.
far,
It was that and the bird drinking the water. That one had a big separation too. But even that, it had like the clip art wolf or whatever.
Yeah.
This
looks like an MS Paint flip or something.
Right.
Like the bitmap image that you flipped.
Yeah. So your photography, in my opinion, feel free to tell me I'm wrong.
I think it's got potential.
I think your photography is much better than your logo. Get that logo up. We will send you a free tutorial, whichever one you want, but I suggest the one on product photography. And boom, you'll be shooting 4-star images real soon. Community gives this 2.6 stars.
They could not. They were judging the logo was not too.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows what happened there? Medieval shield logo here. Maybe if there were an aperture plate around it, it would make sense.
Listen, having a mark that doesn't have anything to do with your business name is okay. People do it all the time. For smaller businesses that don't have like brand recognition and stuff, I'm not sure it's the best decision. But just looking at this as a mark by itself,
it looks like clip art.
It does look like
has
clip art, and there's weird issues with this.
Like weird rasterization problems
that
or something?
make it look like it was like hand drawn or something, and it's not like mathematically
what's going on
symmetrical.
here? Like
there's very strange issues with this that I'm like,
it's like an Illustrator trace off a T-shirt or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it feels like this was traced, but it wasn't traced with like the pen tool. It was traced with like
the auto.
Right.
And then exported as a bitmap, and then resized, and then submitted, and then inverted, and then
we're about to see this shrunk down a lot, and maybe it'll look fine.
Okay.
So what type of photography are we about to see?
God only knows.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to know. But you have been right most of the time, so just take a guess, and I'm sure.
I'm going to go with the old standby. We're going to see a model here.
I'm going to say it's going to be a picture of an animal. Damn, Mike. How do you do it?
I think the photo is way better than the logo. I don't know what... I mean, I don't think it's a fantastic photo, but I think it's better than the logo.
I like the photo okay. And I don't hate the logo. I mean, you know, it's you can't see all the flaws with the logo when it's this small.
It looks like one of those Spritz cookie stamp logo thing. You know what I mean? When you make the Christmas cookies that come out of the gun, and you're like,
yeah,
that's what it looks like. Well, that's nice.
Who doesn't like that? So, I don't hate either, but I think it would be good. Especially if you were actually going to put watermarks on your images, like you got to put your business name on there. Like putting a mark as a watermark makes no sense because the whole point of the watermark is to send people back to your business and your website and stuff, and they're not going to be able to find it with that. Community gives it 2.9 stars. This feels like straight out of like 1993.
I don't. Oh man, we got some kind of speedometer. It's like redlining here. He does video. He does photo. He probably goes down to the track and takes shots of cars and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like it doesn't offend me. It's not gonna win any awards. I see this as like a maybe mid-market company. He's not shooting like crazy high-end stuff like the tutorials that you've done, but he's also not doing like low-end garbage photography either. I see it mid-market.
Yep.
It's, shall I say, it's a tuned logo. That's not offensive. It's not horrible. It needs to be cleaned up. I don't like the multimedia thing. It could be simplified a lot better, a lot more. There's a little bit too much detail in it for me.
It's a very clever logo, and for like a a car tuning place, like maybe they put in stereos and stuff, and they they'll put a NOS kit on your car. Like it feels like that to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess though, like it doesn't feel that high end like you said. So I'm going to guess the photo that we're about to see is like his buddy's tricked out
Honda Civic.
Exactly.
I think it's a little better than that, but I think the quality. I don't think we're talking Monty Isom advertising work here, but I don't think we're talking his buddy Civic down at the track. I think it's going to be a nice car.
Well,
It'll be somewhere in there.
Let's see.
But we agree, right?
Oh! So fantastic photo
Yeah.
of a badass car.
Yeah.
I think hopefully the photographer can take what we've said to heart, and like this photographer is good enough now
That's a great shot.
to put his name on this.
Yeah.
And like get rid of the tune
Ditch the
multimedia. Like nobody
multimedia,
knows what
like-
that is. Like you are whoever you are,
Yeah.
and like you need to start
That's a killer
being
photo.
known around the world amongst car
I
enthusiasts.
love the orange and the blue and the
Oh yeah,
color work here.
it's so great. And then the little purple
Yeah.
details on the tires that are closest to us. Like this is a fantastic photo, a 4 or 5-star rated image. Your logo is not bad, but it just kind of
not as good
feels
as the work.
out of date.
And it just feels, like I said, mid-market.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you're shooting your buddy's Civic in the driveway, but it doesn't feel like you're doing high-end ad work, but this could be nice ad work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Technically, fantastic photo.
How is this not the highest rated image of the thing? Let's see what the community gives it.
3.25.
3.1. All right, Adair.
Like, you could have Adair Schultz get rid of the...
Yeah, man.
You
It's time. It's time to make the move. Your work is too good. Ooh.
7C.
This is the calligraphy you asked for earlier, right?
Yeah, this is the calligraphy. Calligrapher? Calligrapher that we hired.
Yes. I'm gonna give this 1 star.
I could agree with that.
To be honest, it's not. It's two stars because they've actually like incorporated it together. There's like some overlapping stuff going on.
Is it an F? Is it a 7? Is it a T? Is it a 7C? Is it a what?
Yeah, is this
The sad part here
Filippo
is that the
Campana?
The upper arm of the C here goes right through the F and makes it look like a 7 to me. You know what I mean? So it's difficult to read.
But it looks more like an F. If that wasn't there, it would definitely look like...
What is that?
Well, I
you-
know,
you
but
can't
if
see-
I took the C out completely, it would definitely be a 7.
Yeah.
The C is making it a bit more of an F, but... All right, what type of photo are we about to see?
Model. Gotta be a model. I'm going with the odds-on favorite here.
I am going to say bad landscape.
It seems like a photographer who hasn't quite found their vision or their logo yet, and you are correct.
Yes! Now, I will say I wouldn't call this a bad landscape.
It's a very Elia type shot.
I give this 3 stars. Like I think
Yeah.
it's good. And probably if I hadn't been there 2 or 3 times already, I'd probably give it 4 stars because I'd be so wowed by it. But I've been
If
there.
this had a nice, clean, legible logo, it'd be much better. You know?
I agree. But yeah, not feeling the logo. It's a little too old-fashioned and like hand-drawn. Just it's not working. Community gives this 2.9.
It's like Spyro.
I like this a lot. I'm trying to separate the mark from the actual text and everything. I love the font that was used
I
for
like
his
the type.
name. You know, I can't say that I love the flame.
I get told you have this like cheapish feeling logo and great word mark.
So let me school you a little bit real quick. As I understand, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the symbol is called a mark, and then altogether might be called a logo, but just the mark would be the flame.
Well, this is the word mark, right?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
The way I always understood it was
Potato.
the shape was the mark.
Yeah, and this is the. Okay, that could be correct. Because I know this is a word mark. You know what I mean? You know it, right?
No, I don't know.
Just the when you see like the text written out, like the name of the company, is the word mark.
Okay.
And the logo is maybe, I don't know. Someone school us, please. I know
I
someone's
guess I got to
gonna
go
be out in
back
the
to
comments.
college.
You know what the fastest way to get the right answer on the internet is?
Be
Say
wrong?
something wrong. Like 20 people. You're an idiot. So I think you have I think orange is kind of a cheap color.
I don't know if I agree with that. I just think the flame could be designed in a new way. And here's the cool thing about having a logo like this. You can redesign your logo and nobody would know.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can still be the flame guy if that's what you want to be, but you could change it a little bit. To me, the thickness or the stroke is a little bit too thin, and I would like to see maybe it change in thickness a little bit or something. And then I'm trying to decide if I like the brown piece of wood at the bottom or whatever's down there or not.
I honestly like. It could be. I like the font, clean, simple. I think the orange bit could be reduced or simplified to match. Or what if you use the same stroke weight for the flame that the type has? You know what I mean?
If you did that, then I think the flame should be like shrunk a lot. It feels a little thin to me as it is, and if you make it even thinner, I don't think it's going to work. But if you made the size of the flame,
It does feel nicely balanced, though. You know?
I feel like it might be a little too big.
Okay.
But what type of photo do you think we're about to see?
I have no idea. What do you think?
I'm going to guess some sort of architectural photo, but I don't know. Maybe.
Let's see. Hey.
I like this shot.
Yeah.
I like this shot a lot. I'm not liking the logo as much though.
That's a better photo.
So Mike is cropped in a little bit.
And if you got rid of the orange bit, that would be a better. Because it's a simple
it's a little too
image.
simple though. It's a little too simple.
Perfection is achieved when nothing else can be removed. Bam. How's that for wisdom?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this photo is better than the logo.
I'm telling you, if you got rid of the flame, the logo would work.
It's not even
For
like a
this.
logo though. It's not even that unique of a font. It's just like his name. You know what I mean? He didn't even do the all caps thing. It's just literally his name. And then do you like it on top of, first and last name on top of one another? Do you like them beside each other?
I like that on top of it. It feels nice on top of, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I'd love to see some other options. And I don't know if this photographer, like, in the near future, if you end up hiring a graphic designer and you tell them something like, "I'm the flame guy. You gotta
Flame guy.
let me continue to be the flame." How many different ways you could do this? It'd be really interesting to see a really talented graphic designer do it. I would not be good at it. But that's it. That is all 20. I have to say,
Some nice surprises in there.
there were a lot of nice surprises, and I was surprised by how well you did, because I thought like I'm gonna destroy this. I'm gonna do so good. At the very least, I will be able to easily pick out the quality of the photograph based on the quality of the logo, and that was not the case a lot of times. But I felt like you were able to not only guess that, but you were able to guess the genre.
I did study graphic design as a minor, So not really like I'm not completely clueless, and I look at people's branding all day, every day, the amount of emails I get from people. I need critique, my website, my branding, my whatever.
All right, yeah.
So,
cool. Well,
yeah.
if you'd like to be part of the next critique, once again, we're going to be doing macro photography, and this one's probably going to be interesting because I would imagine we don't have that many macro photographers, so it's probably going to be a much smaller
there were some
group
cool
of photos.
macro shots in there,
That's true.
maybe we'll get some nice ones.
That's true. So we will see you guys then. And as always, head over to fstoppers.com to see more free content like this every single day. And if you'd like to check out our full-length photography tutorials, including Mike Kelly's Where Art Meets Architecture series, head over to fstoppers.com/store.